In this episode, we bring you Marakele National Park. This lesser-known national park is situated in the Waterberg Mountains near Thaba Zimbi. Marakele, from its native Tswana, translates to place of sanctuary. And due to its unique geography as a transitional zone between moist and dry areas, it is indeed a sanctuary for immense biodiversity. The park is divided into two sections, one without and one with big five animals, accessed by a motorized gate. It is a landscape photographer's dream, especially when the rust-red mountain peaks are set ablaze in the sunset light. We stayed in the self-catering Tlopi tented camp, which comes equipped with a braai and a semi-outdoor kitchenette. It offers picturesque views of the lake and mountains right from your own deck. The lake is one of the only standing water sources in the area, so all you need to do is sit back, relax, and enjoy the sights and sounds of the bush, as the birds and animals gather here to drink, feed, or wallow. Waking up surrounded by scenes like this right on your doorstep is a most memorable and immersive bush experience. We spent only 2 nights in Marakele, and yet we were lucky enough to see so many amazing sightings, both on our drives and right from our own deck. A visit to Marakele would not be complete without a drive up to one of the park's main attractions, the Lenon viewpoint on top of the Kruger Mountains. The drive up is gorgeous and a little hair-raising if you need to pull over on the narrow road for vehicles coming in the opposite direction. At the top, you may alight from your vehicle and admire the view and the rare birds and other creatures you can find atop the mountain. The mountain is home to over 800 breeding pairs of Cape vultures, so you're almost guaranteed to see some of these endangered birds soaring up from their nests in the cliffs. We also loved watching these striking little birds hopping and flitting about, picking dead bugs out of the grills on the cars in the parking lot. A look at the Roberts birding app confirmed them as mocking cliff chats. They are so pretty with their bright cinnamon-coloured bellies and stark black and white wings. They were joined by the rarer Buff Street chats, and our absolute favourite sighting was the cutest and fluffiest member of the little five, the elephant shrew. If you sit very still and quiet, you'll see these adorable rodents scampering among the rocks. We even managed to catch one on camera. Marakele was established in 1994, so it is fairly new and small compared to Kruger. So because the park is still developing, there are not so many roads open for self-drive, and some of the dirt roads may require a high-clearance vehicle, but with accommodation like this, you don't even need to go anywhere to experience the bush. We spotted this water monitor swimming across the lake. As you may know, these formidable and intelligent lizards are my favourite reptiles to spot. Believe it or not, they even prey on crocodiles. Of course, they can't take down an adult croc, but they prey on crocodile hatchlings, and have even been known to work together to raid crocodile nests. Although they don't inject venom with a bite like snakes do, their bite is an effective means of attack and defense. They secrete venomous saliva that can be deadly to small prey, and their mouths are a breeding ground for bacteria, which can cause a nasty infection in large animals. We were soon visited by some big 5 animals, a lone buffalo, and later, elephants. There's a reason why elephants are a firm favourite for so many people. They're such fun to watch, and their great size makes their interesting behaviour easy to observe. They may be big, but they are certainly not clumsy. Watch how carefully they place their hind feet in the footprints of their forefeet. I love watching them move their dexterous trunks. That said, baby ellies do look rather clumsy in the most adorable way. Those little wrinkly trunks are too cute. After the elephants moved off in the late afternoon, we decided to try our luck out on the road. And wow, we were lucky. We could barely contain our excitement when these 2 lionesses crossed the road ahead. They stalked off into the bush, but our luck had not run out.
Oh man, it's gorgeous.
Just a few hundred meters down the road, we found their teenage cubs, 4 of them, right alongside the road, and they weren't going anywhere. Like typical teenagers, they somehow managed to be simultaneously lazy and restless. We watched them for as long as we could before we had to head back. Like Kruger, you have to be back in your camp by a certain time depending on the season. But after spending the better part of an hour with lions, we were riding high. We had seen members of both Big and Little 5. All we had left to find was the smallest and most shy member of the Big 5, the leopard. It was almost 6 o'clock as we caught sight of the camp gate up ahead, when suddenly a bushbuck came crashing out of the underbrush and ran frantically down the road right towards us. Bushbuck usually freeze in the presence of danger and rely on camouflage for defense, like these 2 we saw earlier outside camp. They only run when they are being actively pursued, and there are not many predators big enough to hunt a fully grown bushbuck. We rolled towards the camp gate slowly, with our eyes peeled, And sure enough, just ahead, there emerged the distinctive low-slung feline shape of a leopard slinking across the road, right outside the camp. Perfect timing. We pulled up next to the spot where it had entered the bush, and there it was. A young individual with a beautiful coat and striking green eyes. We had the sighting all to ourselves for a minute or two before it disappeared into the thicket in search of its prey. Marakele is the site of what might be South Africa's only story of a human surviving a leopard attack barehanded. Back in 1981, when the area was comprised of farmlands, 60-year-old Ramolefe Moatshe came face to face with one of these deadly predators armed with only a small handmade knife. After a desperate struggle for survival, he was able to kill the leopard, but he bore the painful scars for the rest of his life. Check the link in the description to read the sad and shocking story of a man who deserves to be remembered for his bravery and survival through such a traumatic experience. The next morning, we got up early to see if the lions were still lying around. The sunrise was incredible, and we found another herd of elephants with babies along the way. Sure enough, the lions were still there and happy to put on a show for us again. After a morning with the lions, it was time to head out. But first, we spent a little more time exploring the non-Big Five section of the park. We stopped at this lovely hide where we saw this beautiful nyala bull. Nyala are a species of antelope sized between a kudu and a bushbuck. They are known as the most sexually dimorphic antelope. That means that males and females look very different. Due to the size difference between sexes, nyala males are called bulls, like their male kudu cousins, whom they resemble with their dark grey-brown fur and long spiraling horns. But female nyalas are not called cows, but rather ewes, as they resemble their smaller reddish-brown bushbuck relatives. This hide was a treat, as we watched a variety of birds including beautiful violet-eared waxbills and playful vervet monkeys frolicking on the bank. Then in came a troop of baboons to take over. Marakele is an absolute gem of a destination, with its gorgeous vistas and amazing wildlife sightings, all of which we found ourselves. We were so amazed that we saw all the big five not just in one trip, but in a single day. Join us next time as we visit another Waterberg conservancy, Nailsvlei. Please make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy our content. Until next time, thanks for watching.